Right, let me see if I can fucking make this one work without waffling off straight away. Right, now what I want to do is talk about basically health, yoga, and what's happened to the body and things like that. Let me light my joint, because when I make videos, smoking helps me keep my focus so that I don't jump around as much as I can do. So, right, I want to talk about what's happened to people's bodies, because basically, a human being, the majority of the population are prisoners of their own heads, but they are also prisoners of their own bodies, meaning that their life is governed and restricted by their abilities to be able to move correctly. Vast amounts of the population cannot move correctly. Over 90% of the population, I would say, struggle with basic movements that a human being is able to make. Now, the reason I'm talking about this, because not only does a fucked up, mentally ill, dim-witted, mongo, dumbed down, spastic little cunt fucked in the head fucking mongo brain cause problems for people externally and internally, because you have to understand that your brain is the computer system that runs the entire body. So if the brain is not functioning in all cylinders, it means that will start to go inward and start to malfunction and not work with the maintenance of your body and the workings of your body. Now, the human body is a machine. That is not up for debate. It's not up for discussion. It's not up for debate. It operates on the principles of all design. Everything out that they use for technology uses the human body as a way of turning that into a technological device. So a video camera operates on the same principles as an eye, with lenses, optic nerve, which would be the main cable, and things like that, the information cable and power cable that carries the information from the lens and powers the lens back to the computer of that device. Now, inside your body, you have a nervous system. The nervous system is what carries electrical impulses around the body. You have a cardiovascular system, which is what carries oxygen and gases, energy, and things like that to feed parts of the body. So it's an airflow system. And for your digestive system, which is a run on air compression. So when it's pushing food one way, this will cause you to burp, and then when the food is coming out the other way, it will cause you to fart, because it's operating on an air compression system, pushing that through your intestines using air. The hip, the shoulder, the neck. I'm not sure is the neck. I don't know if the neck is. I don't think it's not. I don't think it is. It may be where the head attaches. I'm not 100% sure. The wrists, the ankles are ball joints. Ball joints have to be designed and created and put into place. You have a vein system, which is what carries blood around the body, which is also to do with energy, which is also to do with which is a temperature, which governs your temperature, the temperature of the machine as well, to stop it from overheating, getting too cold, all of these things. You also have a node system, which, according to science and what you can gather, it just carries cancers and shit around your body, which is another energy system to do with energy and carrying energy around the body. But again, when the body starts to pack up, it will go into these systems. So you are basically a network of cables and pipes carrying fluid, no different from what you would have in any machine. So you've got fuel pumps, pipes, a computer carrying electrical impulses, the fuel pipes, then you have the coolant pipes, and stuff. And as a machine, that works to make, they're just components of the bigger of the vehicle. When dealing with digging machines or other forklifts, all of this, there's a hydraulic system. So your body has a hydraulic system. I've already been over it. So basically, from your muscles, you have tendons, which they say it just connects the muscle to the fucking bone. That's not fact. The muscle feeds the tendons that then act as the pulley, which is the hydraulic system to basically cause that to take place. So the muscle is feeding, sending messages down through the tendon to pull that like that. Fingers, and it operates on super speed. So no robot can operate on a robot is a rip-off of a human being, operating million times down. But what you have are a human population that is operating at ridiculously rubbish levels. The entire population is mentally and physically fucked, and their brains brains aren't working properly, bodies aren't working properly, because this is what the owners of the asylum have created. Because what you have is a fucked up population that doesn't work properly, so then becomes dependent on everything, because they can't think, they can't move, they become sick. So they need to be told what to do, looked after and helped in every aspect of their fucking piss poor fucking little cunt existence. Because they're pathetic. Not operating on all cylinders. So let me just explain it to you in very simple terms. If a car isn't working correctly, what happens? It runs shit, doesn't it? Going down to something that batteries are running out. Because a human being runs on a battery system where you create your own energy. That's what takes place when you go to sleep at night, is that it recharges all your batteries inside your body, which are your energy levels, which is a chemical called melanin, which is what melanin does late at night. Serotonin is the energy that's then released in the daytime, but melatonin is the charge that happens during the night. When you've gone to sleep, where the body repairs itself and all this stuff. Anyway, I'll go into that. So you are basically a network of cables and pipes that run all into every single piece and part of your body, that organic machine, to feed that and maintain that so that you stay alive. Now, what's taken place is an attack on that machine from birth. It starts before birth, when they start pumping solutions into the mothers. Now, there is something wrong again with the whole childbirth thing. It's not up for debate. That is not up for debate. There should be birthing periods for human beings. And that should happen not every year. Not every year. Every so many years. And it should all happen at the same time. Now, what should happen is that all those children are born into a safe environment. So ultimately, I'll give it to people. It should be like what should be created for those children, because they're maggots still, but their bodies are developing. So there's that glare on that fucking screen there, look. I'll just try and move that glare off of there, because I can see the glare on there a little bit. Now I can't fucking see. Oh, fuck you. Anyway. So, what should take place is that the women are responsible for the newborns. There should be an area that is constructed to keep those newborns safe, because they're maggots still. A human being doesn't operate like vast amounts of animals. It is a primate, but still operates different to part of the primates. See, a chimp, bonobo, we're not really monkey, it's more chimpanzee, gorilla, like the primates rather than the monkey. A lot of monkeys are small. A monkey is tiny, it's more like chimp. And they operate on the same principles. They should live in the forest, no different from human beings, or some human beings anyway. Maybe all, I don't know. I'm not at them answers or near them yet. But it should be around the forest, the trees, like other primates. Yeah, they don't have birthing periods every year. They don't produce offspring like that. Most of the studies on chimpanzees, bonobos and all of that are done in captivity. So they don't really know what happens out in the wild. Anything in captivity does not operate how it's meant to, but in captivity, a female chimp or bonobo will produce offspring every 5 years, yet sex is part of their social structure. But they don't have offspring every year. But sex is part of their social structure, no different from a human being should be. Because it's that's the way a primate operates. It's unarguable. Anyway, a human being is different to a chimpanzee because they have, although they're very young and the mother looks after them for a period, a human being takes much longer to develop. So what should take place, and I just want to point this out, is that human beings are the only animal on Earth that gets weaker as it gets older, when everything else gets stronger. Most young children are great climbers. I was a great climber as a kid, a great climber. And what happened was when I was 5, I'd climbed up the tree at the end of my garden. It was as tall as the house, 35 foot or whatever that is. And I'd fallen asleep. I climbed up there and I was just on my own. I climbed to the top of the tree and was sat in the tree. And I just fell asleep and I come out the tree and I fucking come all the way down. I smashed my back off the bottom branch. That took the sting out of the whole fall, and I spun round and landed on my head. I had to go to hospital. I was in hospital for a while for that. I had to go in the ambulance and everything when I was 5. But that's because you're not being supervised. You're in an unsafe environment and you've got parents that are too busy doing other shit. Well, I didn't have parents. I had a nan and a mum. I think my nan was dead. My nan had died by that stage. So I had a thing. A thing bringing me up. And so what should take place is that there should be an environment like one of those little fucking adventure fucking parks. I'm not sure about slides, but what you should be doing is creating a smaller environment, safe environment for those children to be able to play. Like one of those play centres with all the fucking ropes, the ball ponds and all of that, but mainly with climbing frames, floors that they won't fucking break their fucking bones on, so it's not super high. You know, it's safe. And the kids should just be in there for the majority of the time, working on their climbing, their bodies, their fucking ability, their run, everything regarding their bodies. Most young kids can do the monkey bars and things like that. They're great climbers, yet by the time a lot of children leave school, because school is the big one, and society and the way children are brought up in the home now, those children's bodies are fucked by the time they've left school, along with their brains. By the time they get to school, some of their bodies are fucked, and because they've had parents that they've done barely any fucking physical movement whatsoever. While every other animal in creation, in nature, is about learning how to move, and your reflexes and your physical nature is what makes you pretty much who you are. So, physical prowess will come down to what they would call leaders. Alphas. Alpha males, alpha females. Yeah? On intelligence and strength. It wouldn't work as in because a human being is a primate. They operate. They're smaller. You know, we are a human being is different to a chimp on many different things, but it is a close relative. We're part of that family as such, sort of. But a human being is still a lot different to a fucking chimp. Now, science claims that a bonobo and a human being have 99% of the same DNA. That 1% of DNA seems to do a lot then. You know, it seems to do a lot, that extra 1%, that one bit of DNA that's different, meaning that we have different skin tones, many different design features according to ecosystem. We have the ability to use vast amounts, many more tools than a bonobo. A bonobo it does use tools, but nothing on the scale to what a human being can, and certainly not to the capabilities of their hands. A bonobo monkey does walk upright for a lot of the time. When it's on the ground, it walks upright for a lot of the time, but it still has longer arms than legs. A human being has longer legs than arms. I've got quite long arms. They're not a lot of difference, but you know, that's the difference. And a human being predominantly walks on their fucking feet. So this 1% DNA, which science claims is the difference between a bonobo and a human being, does masses of difference. So I don't buy that bullshit. But a bonobo is run by the feminine, like the majority of species on Earth is run by the feminine. So it's the feminine that run everything. They have the power over males. And it wouldn't operate on, I'm the strongest, so I'm going to bully everyone and become the strongest. Because what would happen if someone in that colony thought that they could do that, then the rest would gang up on them and just, you know, say no, that's not going to take place. So it is the strong rules up to a certain degree. So yeah, so basically what takes place are not only are the parents the mentally all fucked in the head little fucking retardant mongo fucking parents putting their mental illness onto their children and abandoning them, locking them in rooms, cupboards, you know, all manner of fucked up shit. I was locked in wardrobes. Being locked in rooms is a common punishment for people. Locked in cupboards. Some people were locked in cupboards. You're locked in cupboards. Not given food. Some are beaten. Some are smacked. Some are hit with fucking weapons, slippers, belts. Yeah. And normally regarding bullshit by their mentally ill parents. Now, in nature, in every species, violence is used as, or what they would call a violent attack is used on how you control the fucking population. You will learn through pain. If you get out of order and don't adhere to the social structures that were built into place. You know, the laws of nature dictate that you will be punished. The horses do it through biting and kicking, you know, and that's how it's done. I've already videotaped the sheep up the top of the hill, and they're females that headbutt each other and do all of that. You know, everything in nature operates on a short, sharp, violent attack, not deathmatch, not beatings, and certainly not over gunk and bullshit mental illness. But now what they've done is they've now banned parents from disciplining their children. Now, I didn't smack my boy. I didn't hit him. I didn't have to. He got one smack when we were in New Zealand. I think he was 4 at the time, between 4 and 5. He got one smack, and it was a good smack on the leg. And that was it. I could scare him with my voice and tell him when he was getting a little bit fucking cheeky and a little bit fucking above his station. You carry on! And I'd just do it with my voice, and he'd shit himself because it would come out of the blue, because I wasn't really someone that shouted at him a lot. When you get shouted at all the time, it's just, it's nothing. When you get hit all the time, it becomes nothing. When you get grounded all the time, it just becomes nothing. But when it's a shock, when you do something wrong, then it should work. Especially if it's a shock to, the child would understand that they've done something wrong for you to fly off the handle like that. And you need to, because ultimately this is it's a dangerous fucking world. The laws of nature are dangerous. Meaning that, which is why everything was designed for its ability of its movement, sense, instinct, and understanding of its natural environment for its survival. But human beings not operating like that, because it's been taken out of the natural world and put into artificial constraints and prison cells of concrete. Fences, bars, gates, wire, cameras, monitoring, and instruction on how to behave on every single aspect of your life. If not, then you get locked in cages. And large amounts of people make money out of that process. And they use the natural instinct, which is acts of violence, because they create a society where people become angry, and it comes out onto other people, and other people bear the brunt of things, and arguments take place. Now, so yeah, a lot of parents now literally used it because, again, when I was a child, there was 4 channels. Not everyone had video players. Not everyone, and those that did, you didn't have a lot of films. You had 1 or 2 films, and you just watch those films over and over again, or record one off the fucking telly. But you weren't inside that often, and they just say, go play out, get out, go outside and play, get out of my hair. And you wanted to be out anyway. So if you was lucky enough to be on like where I grew up, there's loads of kids about, you're at least just sort of growing up how you should grow up, surrounded by loads of other children. A lot of kids don't have that. A lot of kids aren't on estates. They're or they have mentally ill parents that keep them inside and away from everyone else because they think they're their property, because they're fucked in the head wackos, lonely little fucked in the head prisoners that have probably just about managed, and it was a struggle enough for them to find a partner. Now, none of the primates operate on partner. They operate on everybody is included. And everything shows each other affection. So males show males affection, females show females affection. They claim that they have sex, but I'm not sure that they actually physically have sex with each other, the males and the females. Dogs do it, where they jump up and they do the action like they're having sex. I've seen female dogs do this to male dogs. So they'll jump on their back like that and give them a pounding and bitch them off. I'm not sure that's not having sex with them, though, even though they're doing the action like they're having sex. I don't personally know whether those monkeys, the bonobos and that, actually have sex with each other, but they do show affection to each other, the males and the females. But a human being isn't a bonobo. A human being is a human being and not a bonobo. So there are differences as well as similarities. It's a distant, very distant cousin of sorts. That's the only way to put it. But, you know, a human being isn't a chimp. A human being didn't evolve from a chimp. Unless there was a manipulation of the mating process. But regardless of that bit of it, we're here to get human beings working correctly. So right now, everyone is a human being. But you can manipulate species and cross and manipulate that birth process through artificial means. The means of science, which is the pure evil and the manipulation of creation. But anyway, for the story, how it works, and how it is, a human being doesn't operate like that. A human being, again, is born a smiley, little laughy thing that gets punished for doing that their whole life by mentally ill adults everywhere, told to be quiet. Kids shout their loud, ah! And all they get is be quiet by everybody. Be quiet. By everybody. You want to hear the racket that starts first thing in the morning at daybreak by the birds. It is, what you hear now is nothing. The sheep make racket, not all day. They just go through periods where they just make fucking noise, where they're all going meh, meh, meh. And I'm glad them young ones are getting older, because their little meh is a fucking annoying fucking little cunt sound. When you hear it over and over again, you know what I mean? For a fucking hour or so. Meh, meh, you know what I mean? But they make noise, where a human being is told to sit down, shut up, and be quiet. A lot of adults punish children for smiling and laughing. Certainly in the education system they do that, and vast amounts of parents do that. So what you have from a young age are children being lied to, being surrounded in unnatural prison environments, and their bodies are the majority of the population, their bodies are coming under attack from birth, being made to sit down all the time in 90-degree angles, staring at flashy fucking screens, playing on mobile phones now, playing on computers. So their bodies are starting to deteriorate from birth. And then the education system takes hold. And they are made to sit for the majority of the day. And then they have to go home, and the education system now puts homework onto young children, which it never used to do. The population is getting dumber and dumber, yet the children are doing more and more work. The children are getting more and more fucking dumb, more and more dim-witted, more and more dependent on their parents for everything in life, and being kept younger, unable to cope with menial tasks. I think that's the word. Unable to cope with anything. Because, one, you have parents that don't get children doing anything in the home. Don't get them walking because the parents are already fucked and too fucking lazy. They rarely take them out into fucking nature, over the hills for walks, making them walk distance. They get lifts to school now because everyone's got cars. Put into buggies, strapped into buggies and made to be pushed around all the time. So your body is in unnatural positions while it's growing for the majority of the time. Now, what takes place? You're made to sit with your legs crossed on hard floors in assemblies. You're made to sit on floors in classrooms. Be quiet. Stop laughing. Stop talking. Stop doing everything that makes you a fucking human being, while they are telling you to do as you are told. Be quiet. Stop moving. Stop talking. Stop laughing. And just listen and repeat and do as we fucking tell you to do. And they have them now for an extra 2 years to when I was younger. And they make them do more work at home than they did when I was a kid. Yet the children that are leaving school are dumber, thicker, and unable to fucking move or anywhere near as physical as my generation was. And my generation was even less physical and incapable of previous generations. Their knowledge is growing in their knowledge of shit, but in physical capabilities and brain capacity and able to cope with easy tasks that human beings should be able to cope with is going down dramatically. Who's done that then? It's only the education system, because they've made it so now that mothers aren't at home, they've got to go to work, they're not even allowed to look after the children, because what they did was say that we will pay you to go to work and we will pay the babysitters for you the same money that we were giving you, or more money than we were giving you to stay at home and look after the kids. So children are growing up around and they're being dictated to and trained like mutts from government trained officials who've attended courses that think they know more about your child's development than you do. Repeating gunk, training like dogs for stars, for fucking treats, for fucking reward, punishment and reward, like a dog. Not being made to do things because it's just the right thing to do. For punishment and reward for obedience, which only benefits the rulers of the asylum. Doesn't benefit the population and benefits slavery, the slave masters, because the more obedient the population slaves are, the better it is for those that own all the companies and created society, so that you have to work to in a prison to obtain pieces of currency to then get mutated versions of what nature naturally provided everybody, but they stole all of that, destroyed all of that on everyone's land, and used different pieces of land to grow different in different countries to grow different things, and then ship it all around the world, so everybody is dependent on all the other countries because they're all one network of rulers and minion slave, the United Nations. So anyway, what takes place is that you are kept at a young age. So even nowadays, most kids aren't walking to school. They get lifts. They were getting lifts when I was a kid, where years before that you would have to walk to school. You get 10 minutes or 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, and an hour for lunch, and in that hour you've got to sit down as well and eat your fucking dinner. So, and you get a couple of hours PE a week. And what normally happens is that the kids that have parents that took their children to sports and got them involved in things, but not everybody has parents that do that. Some are out playing with all the other kids, so they're running around all the time and all of that. But you get a lot of kids who don't do any physical activity from birth. So they are weak and struggle in those subjects and are made to feel weak and pathetic because everything is a competition. Now, I'm not for, because there should be competition, but it should be friendly competition and not reward for winning. Like, you're the winner, there's a medal, you get a star, you get this, you get up. It shouldn't be like that. But there should be competition, because that's how you train off of each other, and it's healthy for everyone to be in competition, but in play rather than how they do it. And so they go into themselves. They're not running around in the playground either, because it's the popular kids, so they'll be hiding somewhere away from all the other kids that are now terrorists to those children. But what takes place in the education system, because I've got to speed this up, otherwise I'm not going to get the upload on it. So basically, what takes place is, with that sitting down in this 90-degree angle, what takes place is a crushing of your skeletal, your skeleton, the bone structure in your body. No bone should be touching any part of any bone. Bones are held together by ligaments, and they create they hold them together, but there's also things in place so that no bone should be touching any other bone whatsoever. Your spinal cord is a load of floating discs that create like an armor and structure around your spinal cord, which is your central nerve, which is the main nerve of your entire body. It's that nerve that goes down the spinal cord, which is what takes the electrical information down from your brain to every single part of your body. So in technical terms, that is the main fiber optic. Energy information carrier. The information superhighway is what your spinal cord is. So what takes place in the education system and in society from parents making those children sit? And again, it's worse because you're at a desk. So what happens is a lot of kids do that. I certainly was like this all the time, hunched over, just looking bored out of my fucking brains on a desk, hunched over like that. So you are literally in some weird fucked up position for the majority of your childhood. Then you're at home and you've got settees with arms that come up. So you're all buckled up all the fucking time trying to find a fucking seat somewhere to try to find fucking comfort. Buckled up into weird fucked up cretin positions. Yet, and then by the time people get to fucking 20 years of age, you're starting to see a decrepit, fucked up population because of the positions they've been sat in from fucking birth in the education system and at home in the prison cells. And what takes place is the crushing of those discs, and that thing, the weight starts because you're sitting like this all the time and not stood up in the correct position and have a straight back, because a human being has a straight back, should have a straight back. It's not a chimp. A human being has a straight back. Should have good posture, should and things like that. Now what happens is the crushing and the curvature of the spine then starts to restrict the body and its movements. And that starts to fuck with the internal workings, because what happens is that starts to crush the cable system and pipe system. So it's quite simple stuff. Nearly all the illnesses and stuff that human beings suffer from are caused by chemicals in vaccinations and this crushing of the skeleton and the attack on the body that takes place regarding predominantly the education system, because they have the children for the longest. The education system has the children for the longest, bar none. Because the education system, the parents get them for a couple of hours in the evening before they have to go to sleep. They also have to do homework in that time, eat food, get washed, and try to lead some form of a social life in those few hours. Working parents have to then sort out the house, the home, so they're spending fuck all time with those fucking children. And in nowadays, with the way that the whole thing works, now you have a lot more families that separate, so then the kids are off at different parents' houses all the time as well. So there's no real cohesion anywhere on the go. So it's the education system that has the children for the longest. Yet they will ring up the parents and blame the parents for fucking everything and try to get the parents to do this and that when the education system has them longer. Who the fuck do they think they are can even ring your fucking phone and start to dictate down the fucking phone what the fuck you should be doing with your own fucking kids? And the Mongo little fucked in the head little fucking wackos gift them that. Oh, the school should be teaching them more. The school should tell them off, because you've got parents that don't even want to tell their kids off because all they want to do is get little cuddles like little fucked in the head little fucking cunts. They ain't fit to look after fucking children, because what they are silly little fucked in the head little cunt bitches. And fucking blokes, little babies. All they want is little cuddles and to play with the little fucked up fucking little cunt they're fucking creating. And don't discipline their children at all and think that the school should discipline your children. They think the school should do everything because the school did everything in turning them into a fucked up little fucking cunt. Anyway, that crushing of that information superhighway, so it works on the same principles as if you crush a electrical cable. If you crush an electrical cable, it starts to fuck with the signal that's getting through one way and then can send too much energy, so you get build up of energy, and then it goes back to start fucking up bits of the fucking machinery, the computer itself. You crush a water pipe, so a pipe that is carrying fluid, and the body has water pipes as well. So it has many different pipes, blood pipes, water pipes, all of these sort of things. So if you crush those things, you get pressure build-ups and lack of flow. So one way you get a lack of flow, and one way you'll get a pressure build-up. Blood pressure. See, they tell you everybody it's down to fat and all of this stuff, when it's not. It's down, that is a large part of it, but that's inside those pipes or round the outside. But fat itself is no way near as damaging as hard bone pushing on those cables and pipes. The heart is a pump. It's a pump that pumps the blood around your body in a circuit. So any crushes in anywhere in that entire fucking circuit to that system, to those pipes, will cause pressure, blood pressure, and lack of pressure one way, a build-up of pressure the other, and that will then go back and start to cause problems with the pump, the heart, which is what takes place. And heart disease and blood pressure and all of these things are one of the leading causes of deaths and heart attacks, strokes, and all these things. A stroke, again, is nervous system shit, I think. I think a stroke is to do with the nervous system. It's not a heart, it's a cutout. So it's an electrical cutout. And that's why it fucks up the nervous system. So the compression of the fucking spine onto those fucking discs and all over the entire body fucks up the body on more fucking levels than you could possibly fucking imagine. So it's massive. It's very simple fucking stuff. Now, the information superhighway, which is your spinal cord. So if you damage that, and it damages the nerve, the actual spinal cord, which is the fucking bit that sits in between all those floating discs. Rings of protection as well that create a armor to that very important nerve that carries all the information which powers all of your and information that powers, so your lung, all your organs come off of that spinal cord. So if that spinal cord is getting crushed and it's with restricting that flow of information around your body, that is your reaction times. So that makes you because you're the information is unable to travel very quickly through your body. Same way, if that information and that flow isn't getting through to your organs, they will start to cut out and you will start to get problems and disease and illness with malfunctioning parts of your body. No different from any machine on earth. If the whole machine is not working correctly and there is a fault anywhere in any machine on earth, it starts to affect the whole fucking machine. So a human being is just not working as a human being. So it's malfunctioning on every department. On speed, on agility, on thought process, on fucking reaction times, on every type of fucking thing. A human being is a prisoner of their own brain, mind, and body. You need to unlock both. You need to unlock your body and unlock your brain at the same time, and they are both connected. Because the brain is simply a part of the body. It's a part of the body. So that means that if the body isn't working properly, the brain isn't working properly. If the brain doesn't work properly, it then starts to fuck up the body even more. Because it's the brain that controls the body. And it is the brain that controls the organs of your body, your digestive system, and the workings of your interior. So if the actual body itself, meaning your frame, is crushing the information and all the cables and the pipes that power and run and feed and work your entire body, are getting crushed and fucking up. It will start to fuck the computer, and then the computer will start to fuck that even more. Will start to fuck the actual internal that operates and uses all of those pipes and cables. If a TV has components in it that's not working properly, what happens? It either doesn't turn on, or the screen is all fuzzy. If your body and you can't see the picture correctly, because the picture is all fuzzy and hazy and fucked up and snowy. So if your fucking computer, if you're not working correctly, and the components in your body and your brain are not working correctly, you ain't seeing the fucking picture fucking clearly, are you? No. You're seeing fuck all. You're unable to do fuck all, see fuck all, yet a mental patient will then think that they've got words out of their mouth that they can tell anyone and give them an opinion when they don't work correctly. Malfunctioning human beings are everywhere. They tell you this, that you use such a small percentage of your brain. Like I said, if a car is operating on much less than anything less than 100%, the whole car runs slower, uses more fuel, more water, more whatever. It needs more of things than it should do, and has not the energy or the power that it should have, or the capabilities that it should have. That's no different from a human machine, your body. So if it's not working correctly, you're unable to operate how a human being should operate, and you will become sick and dependent, which is what the owners of the asylum want. They want a dependent population that needs looking after, so they're willing to look after us. We'll do everything you say because you're looking after us. We don't know what to do. I'm going to just get you your money. We get you your money, pay you, we pay our taxes. I pay my taxes. Why are they not doing this and looking after us properly? I'm going to whinge about that. I'll just whinge about it. I might start a petition. We'll get people to sign some names on a piece of paper. That'll show them. Because that's how fucked you've got people now. That's how fucked you've got. Because they did that. So what they do is some stupid government agenda that they wanted, where they get some dickhead that they make famous or give them a fucking load of money and, to protest about something fucking gay, so that they think that people then, we've changed our mind now thanks to your protest and your gay little fucking petition. Do you know what I mean? And that's all they've got to do to fool mentally ill population into thinking that they've got to say, I'm not having this. I'm protesting. Come on, everybody. Write your name on that piece of paper. We'll show them who else isn't very happy. When the history of fucking time and the world tells you that if you're not doing what they want you to do, they have a habit of dropping bombs on people and killing them, sanctioning and putting in prison. If they don't want people to do something that they don't agree with. That's the history of the fucking world. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to fucking get to the fucking... So I might just fucking keep fucking recording. Because I'm not sure I'm going to make the size limit. I might do, actually, if I cut it off very fucking soon. So, right, let me quickly carry on with what I was saying. Basically, you're a prisoner of your body and your mind, and both are connected. The only way to free up the body and get the body working correctly is yoga. It's mechanics for the body. Forget all this gay shit. Ooh, it's spiritual. Gay shit. Just sit round with ambient music playing, man. No, it's athletics training. It's to get your body to be able to move like an athlete. To get your body to be able to do other shit. And what it does is it's the only thing on earth that is an all-round body stretcher. So different poses are pulling different, and what they're doing is pulling your skeleton back to shape, your body back into shape. Not many people have structural damage. A lot of people end up having slipped discs, broken discs from the curvature of the spine, what the education system and society did to them, along with the drinking of milk after a year old, which creates brittle boneness. And vaccinations also target the bone. Sports, a lot of young kids who did sports, running, football, start developing problems in the knees because they're putting way too much fucking impact and doing way too much fucking running. You're not meant to run like that. You're not meant to do much running, well, that much running. Now, I do running. I run a bit. I basically run round the hill, down and up the hill again, and 10 minutes, if that. And but I didn't do a lot of running my whole life. Well, certainly not from a kid age up. But yeah, too much. It's too much running, too much sports, too much shit starts to fuck up people's bodies because you're doing too much running. High impact on the knees, which is a human being's not meant to do either. So exercise and sports and all of this stuff is not great for the body because a lot of sports staff suffer injuries and fuck-ups to their body their whole life. And again, what happens is that you have a human being is like a battery cell. It's a battery with a lifespan. So if you're overworked, you will shorten that lifespan because your battery will run out and you will die because your life has gone because you've overworked your battery. And again, underworking the battery is worse than overworking it because it goes dead. It drains. An underworked battery left idle because the human body has a alternator in it. It's operated with your legs. It's the legs. A human being's mode of transport is their feet. And it is the moving of the legs that also charges the batteries. And is vital for the inner workings of your body. And you shouldn't walk on flat ground because your ankles were meant to design to walk on uneven ground, which is when you do that is stretching and keeping the tendons and everything working how they're meant to work. When all you do is walk on flat ground, your tendons will start to seize like that, and your foot and your ankle will struggle with any movement other than that flat movement. people can have pain here because it's a system that connects all round the whole body. There is a system of tendons and muscles and things like this. The muscles, it's all one thing. So the muscle is connected to the tendon. It's all part of the same thing. But what they've got mental patients to do is to work the muscle in ways that then start to shorten the tendons and to put impact and strain on the tendons and it restricts movement. And then what happens is that the muscle also then starts to crush that pipe system and cable system. So creating an unfit fuck up of a human being. Let me just see if I can try and move that fucking glare off of there. So anyway, basically what yoga does, I'm just giving you what it does. So basically, over a lifetime of not moving correctly, your bodies now are unable to cope with the movements that a human being was designed to do. If you look at a young child is flexible. They can do the splits. They can, they're very, very flexible. But even by the time they get to school, they are already losing that flexibility because they're not being made to work it. Or work it too much the other way, which is just running and things like that. Again, it starts to shorten the hamstrings. And that's why they get, you get hamstring snaps and things like that caused by running. And tears and damage to the fucking, because it's too much one way, and you're not stretching out the other way. You're not stretching them properly. So things become brittle and tight because they worked too much in the opposite ways to what they should be doing. A human being shouldn't be operating for sports and mental ill shit. This should be athletic. But again, nothing. You should dedicate your life to nothing. Not one thing. Your life is dedicated to everything. So you need to be able to do bits of everything, and it's repetitive and overdoing of everything. Everything is about balance. Now, most people's balance, it's so off. They can't do anything. My mum couldn't get out of bed. The fat, ugly fucking tramp of a fucking scumbag human being. To listen, getting out of bed was shocking. It's shocking. Human beings that can't get out of bed start sweating when they've walked down the fucking stairs. This is what you have in the world. And they think they can give you an opinion on anything. Tell you about your health. Tell you what's good for you. You have a population now that doesn't even care if it gets sick. It doesn't give a fuck about whether it becomes sick or not. Talk about being dumbed down to epic level. Now, anyway, yoga. Works on many fronts. My yoga is different to everyone else's. My yoga incorporates what people would call yoga, which is stretching, handstands, things like that. But you need to incorporate Pilates, calisthenics, and dance, walking, carrying weight. Yoga is everything. Yoga means the union. So if you want to make the union with you and source of creation, yoga is the only way to do it. It's not spiritual. It's not spiritual. Floating around, man. Cosmic. It's hard graft. It's full-scale, hard-out athletics training to create athletes. The stretching bit of it is simply is the start of it all. Because if you literally, if your movement is restricted, everything else is also restricted, meaning everything. If your movement is restricted. And if your reaction time is restricted, because your information super fucking highway isn't working correctly, then you are unable to move and react quick enough or able enough to do fuck all. It's simple stuff. Yoga is simply about you getting the machine to work correctly. It's mechanics for the body, internal and external. Because by freeing up the external body, it then enables the internal to work better. And it is also to do with the production of serotonin and melatonin, which are your energy, charge, and release, which are vital for every human being in every aspect. And not only is serotonin energy, it is what creates happiness, contentment, and it also releases pressure, because all of that system, the crushing of that, also creates pressure in the head. Pressure in the head, pressure in the body, pressure in everywhere. Pressure, under pressure. So by stretching out your skeleton, strengthening your tendons, making sure all your ligaments, because the ligament is what holds all the bones together. So if they're not worked and supple and stretchy enough, then not only is it not working there from the muscle and the tendon pulling that way, it will also cause problems here into the thing. And if it goes down and it's crushed too much, then you'll get the bone that then starts the bone rubbing together, and it will fuck up the tendon permanently and cause damage to the structure. But most people don't suffer structural. Even people with structural can get better. It will make you better. You just have to work on things that suit your own body. Know thyself is about understanding how you move. One part of it. Just how you're able to move, your body works. And by understanding how you move, you also can understand how other people move. Because there's, and understand your restrictions and how restricted you were by when you start to free it up. It doesn't take long to start to gain forms of results where you will see that you are benefiting from yoga. Like I said, it incorporates everything. I'm going to make a couple of small videos starting very simple for the fatties. Disgusting, wobbly, fat, fucking revolting pieces of shit pig human beings. Blobs. Can't have blobs. Can't have blobs in the world, period, because blobs are just disgusting, revolting human dustbins that want to eat everything. The goddess hates them. I hate them. Blobs hate themselves. But they're just that fucked and mentally ill in the head and miserable in themselves. That's why they're a blob. A blob is a very unhappy person that finds solace in food. Miserable people become blobs. It's a sign of unhappiness in a human being. I'm afraid, along with drug addiction, along with a million other things. Drug addiction, when I use the word drugs, I do refer to alcohol. Prescription drugs, cannabis, all of those things come down to unhappiness, boredom, which boredom is unhappiness. You don't like being bored, so you're unhappy about it, aren't you? So you're trying to occupy that time. A lot of fatties ain't nice people either. They're horrible, spiteful, horrible cunts. But they will smile at you and have very nice words, yet behind closed doors, a lot of fatties are fucking horrible, spiteful bastards. Forget nice personality bullshit. That's just the front that they put onto the world. Indoors, they're a miserable, fat fucking piece of shit that hates themselves and hates everyone else because they hate themselves. That's the truth, that's the facts. Now, no form of diet, what they call diets, will work. They're all designed to fail, which causes then more depression, which causes their businesses them to make money. Like Weight Watchers and all of this shit. My mum was a habitual Weight Watchers. Tell you about her diet every fucking day. Oh, she's on a diet. I've got no food, but she's got loads of special diet food now that she has to buy for her to get rid of her fat fucking revolting fucking blob fucking stomach and arse. Just revoltingness. Fatty. I fucking hate fatties. And I was overweight for the majority of my adult life. Large part of it. People would say, oh, you're stocky. No, it's called fat. It's not stocky, it's called fat. Now, fat people are of no good. fat people are dependent and need to be looked after. They're of no use to anybody. Fat people are of no use to anybody. Anyway, what am I going to do with this fucking video now? Because I've not got enough fucking credit. I might just have to top up and just fuck it and do away and lose that fucking bit of credit. Who cares? I'm going to keep talking. Yeah. So I'm going to start that. So it's basic stuff. Simple things can be achieved by freeing up your fucking body, which also frees up your mind, which also frees up your reaction times, frees up everything in your body. A prisoner of your body and brain. You have to unlock both. But to unlock the brain, you have to unlock the body. So anyone telling you that they have done anything, reached any understanding on any form of anything in life regarding anything without doing yoga is a complete lying bullshit and cunt, because the body doesn't work properly. And without the body working properly, the brain doesn't work properly, because the brain is simply a component of the body. You are the consciousness that powers that body. But most people have a pea-brain consciousness that isn't working in any way, shape or form, in any form how it was fucking designed to do. You've lost your natural instinct, because your natural instinct was taken away from you and you were programmed via books and flashy screens instead of reading your natural program, which was put into your body by the creator of life. The adults are there to help you get to that full capability of understanding and development for you to be a fully functional human being. But you've got adults that give their children, well, it's illegal for you not to give your children to the owners of the asylum to teach fucking gunk to. So, you know, instead of they're fucking your body up, crushing so you become a fucked up little fucking little fat fucking little fucking crippled fucking mongo. I've got bad neck, I can't do that, I got slim disc, I can't do that, I got sciatica. By the time you've fucking not even grown, you haven't even fully grown, and your body's already packing out, and people's bodies are already packing out on them. Plus with the jobs they made you do, which are also unnatural jobs, which then fuck up the body, sitting in offices, sitting in machines, driving fucking cars, sat on your fucking fat fucking asses your whole life. Or you've got a fucking shovel in your hand and you're bent over, fucked up in another fucked up weird fucking position. Like, my body's fucked. Like, I naturally like this. I naturally lean like this from where I was spent like this with fucking digging, or with my arm like that digging, or doing. I've got a twist. When you start, if you start to, you realise that how fucked your body is and how it's damaged, and how being made to fucking be in certain positions at work and things like this have caused damage to your body that can cause you problems through your whole life that benefit and make money for the owners of the asylum. Chiropractors is bullshit. Yeah? All they do is just bend, pull the skeleton and it will click or do something, and then the ligaments and everything will just pull it straight back down to where the fuck it, and because the rest of the structure around that spine is not mended, is not moving correctly. The only thing, like I said, I had a curvature of the spine. I've spent my whole life digging and shoveling and fucking carrying shit and things like that. You want to believe me? I can't fucking, I can only tell you what I've done. So I've done it. I put that into practice and I've made my body a million times better. Metal plates, I had nothing but problems with this arm until I started yoga. From the time I did that, I did that by jumping over the top. Basically, we'd had the fucking bouncy castle in the fucking Warden Tavern, just up the fucking road by fucking Warden Hills. And we'd fucking taken all the pegs out the fucking bouncy castle. So, and what we were doing, we was tipping the bouncy castle up like that. So basically, that's the bit where you bounce on. That's the back wall. So we tip it like that. So the back wall was on the thing, and that's the bit where you get on. And we were fucking sat on there, jumping down onto the back wall. And I've jumped off of there down onto the back wall and fucking bowled. I think it was bowled. Fucking ugly Dick's fucking brother yanked the fucking yanked the rope. So the fucking bouncy, as I'm jumping down from there onto the back wall, he's fucking yanked it like that. So I fucking gone straight over the fucking top onto the ground, and that basically fucking snapped like that at a right angle, fucking stuck up like that. And yeah, I had 2 operations on it, and it was in a cast, like, and it's the cast that fucks it up. So, and you have to go for physiotherapy and that, but they do fuck all to get your fucking that working correctly. Yeah, I went to the NHS physiotherapist. I did everything that the NHS physiotherapist told me to fucking do as a child, and still as a child. But it did fuck all for my fucking wrist, and I suffered with problems at work. I'd do stuff and it would just fuck up, and I'd be in pain for fucking, it would, you know, I even went back to the hospital because I thought I'd fucked it up, and it had cut. If you look like that, it's still bent. My arm is still, it's got like a bend in it, and if I go like that on a fucking, like on a square fucking table, my hand doesn't touch the fucking table because where it's still fucking bent. And I had nothing but problems with it. That's the NHS. They're the experts and professionals in your body. I did their physiotherapy and suffered for fucking 20 years with problems with this arm. And I've shown people what I can do. Push-ups on the wrists. How much fucking stuff can I do on my hands, on my wrists, and I don't get any problems with it. And with the axe, with the club, with the hammer, with everything. Yet I had problems with this arm my whole life until I did yoga. And that was the NHS. I did everything that the NHS told me to do regarding my arm. Because the NHS don't know about your fucking body. They know how to, the people who work for the NHS work for know every way to fuck your body up and brain up and profit from that fucking up of your body and brain. What they don't do is tell the population about how to make sure that their bodies are working correctly. Because that doesn't benefit the owners of the asylum, because the owners of the asylum want a fucked up, fucking sick, fucking mentally ill, dim-witted, fucking dumbed down, obedient, order-obeying society that can't think for themselves, can't move for themselves, can't do anything for themselves. All they can do is do as they are told, obtain currency, give that currency to somebody else, and hope that they're getting looked after in return for that. Because that doesn't benefit. So that's why you don't get told it. But they were NHS experts anyway. But yeah, yoga has sorted all that out. Yoga, I've had a strong back. I had a strong back. I had a good back. Especially, but I had curvature. I did walk round like this. If you walk everywhere you go, you'll see that large amounts of the male population, certainly on building sites and warehouses and things like that, will have curvatures of the spine. They tell you to lift up with bending. It's just pure gunk and shit for fucking 2-year-old babies using the stupid little cartoon pictures and the gunk fucking bullshit fucking health and safety. Yeah. Human beings ain't meant to live like that. They're slaves that live in a completely unnatural prison environment, doing completely unnatural prison activities, and have had their bodies fucked from birth till today. Because most people haven't looked after their body. I'll just quickly on this, a lady friend of my boys, and other people, if you've got your kids into gymnastics and things like that at a young age, like she can go like that, and well, I can do it a bit actually. I'm quite fucking. I didn't realise how much I can fucking. I'm not as good as her actually, but I'm a lot further than I thought I was. But her arm is down there. It's like that, and it sort of bulges out there, and she can just go like this. And literally pull her fucking arm out of its socket nearly and fucking do this with it. She's like a fucking dance. She like does dance or some shit like that, but or I wouldn't call it dance. And not being offensive, I would call that a rehearsed gymnasticsy thing rehearsed to music. I wouldn't call that dance. But anyway, because from a young age she was kept flexible, her body now at 18, 19 or however old she is one super strong, meaning that she can do acrobatics and all of that, backflips or whatever, and flips and fucking, she can do the splits, she could probably do Van Damme. I'm about that far off the floor on that way on the splits. I'll take a photo, but it's taken, and that hurts. That's not like the hardest thing to do. I could have probably got down to doing the splits by now if I kept on it and on it and on it. But it's like an elastic band as well, so it works better if you stretch it, let it go back, 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 because then but it just gets better and better after you've let it go back. But if you just keep stretching, you can also cause damage in other ways. And the longevity is not there, meaning that, like with muscle definition, the ligament and everything works exactly the same way. So if you've worked on your fucking muscles prior and basically then you don't exercise, you'll see very quickly that you'll lose all the definition in your body super quick, and it will go back to what it is, fat. Muscle is only hardened fat. So if it's not worked or not exercised, it will literally just turn back to fat. So if you've bloated yourself out to ridiculous levels of unnatural muscle growth, you will literally become a fat blob very, very fucking quickly. But once you've exercised it and exercised your body correctly, you will gain that much quicker than it took to get to that stage the first time that you did it, because your body remembers that it had been got fit and got to a state, a level of fitness. So the body has memory, and then if you keep over years and years and years and years and years and years and years maintaining that, the body will then literally just become flexible and strong without having. My aim is to get the exercise down to levels where I barely need to exercise, and it would just be my life that keeps me fit. But like I said, yoga is because the body is damaged, so that's why it has to be put in. If you teach the yoga and gymnastics and athletics and shit like that to children in the correct way, not as in it's your life and you need to become a professional at that and we will just overwork you on that, but you maintain it, there's no need to do yoga in later life. Realistically, you could probably get a yoga routine down to fuck all 20 minutes of a few poses that would literally maintain your flexibility and strength, and that'd be it. You don't have to work on it. But to get from A to B, you've got to work very hard to get your body mended and get it working correctly, if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to do that, good luck in the world. That's all I can say to you. Good fucking luck. Because I won't be looking after anyone, and anyone, or like I've said, who hasn't sung the tune, and I know I won't even take my sit down. You're not wasting your effort on fucking wasting your time with a fucking lazy fucking cunt piece of shit like that who wants gifts. We don't have gifts. You only get rewards for your graft. You've got to put the shift in to get the rewards, and that's the fucking end of it. There's no gifts, no freebies, no nothing for nobody. But anyway, yoga is simply freeing up the body, and that also then gets the body to function correctly and produce the chemicals in your body that benefit you in life on a million different fronts. One, it takes the pressure out of your brain so that the brain is able to function correctly, work a lot more clearer. And again, part of yoga is also weaning yourself off of the media and media contamination and thought process. Like I've said, I've been through it all before, and I think I was waffling on about it just quickly, so I will go into it quickly again. Regarding Weight Watchers and all those diets. If all you do is spend all day every day looking at pictures of food all day every day, you're just constantly thinking of food all day every day. The idea is not to worry too much about what you're eating and try not to think of the food. But if all you're doing is looking at pictures, looking at ingredients, calories, constantly taking pictures, showing people, talking about what you're eating, all you're doing is constantly, your brain will be picturing those pictures of food. As it processes it, triggering the hunger inside your body, you're better off never looking at a picture of food. And the food has to be combined with exercise. Because once you're at a stage where you're just a fucking fat fucking blob, not eating is not a way that will keep it off. Because again, your body has memory and it remembers getting fat very quickly as well. And laziness. Now I have to fight myself every fucking day. Well, not every day. Some days I'm quite on it. And some days I just think I can't be fucked to do this shit. But I have to force myself to do it because I know that, it's sensible. The only sensible option in this world is to ensure that you are the fittest and strongest and working on the best capabilities as a human being that you could possibly be, meaning that your body and brain are working correctly. And then you would be a fully functional human being that's able to operate on all cylinders with good reaction times, strength, agility, and sense, cunning, all manner of senses, instinct. What you are not operating on now, you don't operate on instinct, because that's why people don't know. Don't know. What do you reckon to that? I don't know. What do you reckon about that? Well, I don't know, because nobody knows anything. Why do they not know anything? Because they were educated to not know anything. Anyway, I keep fucking making videos that are just too long, and they've got to go into other fucking videos. But anyway, fuck it, I'm just going to keep on with this one. Bollocks to it. Right. Yoga. So, what yoga does, the start of yoga, which is just walking, yeah? If you're not walking, you're fucked. You're no good to no one. Don't even bother coming in my direction. I'll make it that simple. Don't even bother coming in my direction. Because if I say to someone, I need you to fucking go over there, walk down there and do this, or go to there and fucking say that or do that, and you turn around and say, I can't do that, I can't walk, I would throw an epi. And what good are you to anyone? You're a fucking hindrance to everyone else you want to looking after. Who the fuck do you fucking think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are, you fat fucking hideous fucking creature? Lazy fat fucking pig of a human being that wants other people to do shit for you because you couldn't be bothered because you're a fucking fat piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my sight. That's one less blob, everyone. We haven't got to worry about another fucking greedy fat fucking pig gobbling up fucking all of creation, whinging and whining and fucking just looking ugly and hideous and blobby. You know what I mean? Nah. Good riddance to that fucking ugly fucking blob. A human being is not a blob. No animal on earth is a blob. Not that I can think of. Do you know what I mean? Are any animals blobs? A hippo looks round. It's very agile, can run very fast, swim, do all manner of shit a hippo can. I'm not sure they're a blob. A blob. You know. Feed me. Feed me now. I'm hungry. So that's undoable. Blobs are out. You know. Blobs get sick. Blobs have health problems. Blobs don't care about themselves. So blobs don't care about themselves, don't give a fuck about anyone else either. They don't care about their own kids. They don't give a fuck about no one other than their own stomachs. Never mind words that come out of their mouths. Actions speak louder than words. And their action is that they're a fucking fat fucking pig of a human being blob. Fuck 'em. Fat fucking blobs. I have struggled with weight in the past, but I always exercised once I got to a certain level to bring those fat levels down before I went to a stage where it was beyond the point of no return. That might have been because I was raised by a fucking revolting fat fucking pig of a human being, and I just hated fat people since then. I just hate them. Whinging, fat, horrible pigs. Fuck them. fuck them. But anyway, for people that are struggling with their weight, that might be a fat fucking pig, that don't like the fact they're a fat fucking pig and wants to do something about it, I'm going to teach you an exercise program. I'm going to make some videos, and hopefully it will help you stop being a revolting, disgusting, fat fucking human being. I will start very small. The videos will start at the beginning for fatties. I will also give you dietary tips as well, because again, what people they don't understand is because you've got a dumbed down population and just think fat is fat when fat isn't fat. There's different types of fat in many different things. Animal fat from dead carcass is very hard for a human being to burn off, while plant-based fat is a lot easier for a human being to burn off, meaning that it takes much less time to get rid of it. And many artificial fried, there's many things that you can do, which means that you will still get a full stomach. I'll give you tips. I'll go through the whole fucking thing. And then I've done it. And then I don't have to I know I've done it, I know I've cleared it up, and then fatties can't fucking turn up and fucking whinge, or anyone. Because part of it, I might say, I need you to do me a yoga routine. Show me that yoga routine, and if you can't do that yoga routine, go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out of my fucking face now. Go over there and rot and die with the rest of them motherfuckers. Because I don't give a fuck about no one. No one. There's not a human being on earth who will get away with laziness to me. Not one. Not one fucking human being. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll start with that. But yeah, first and foremost, we need healthy fucking human beings. Fully functional, healthy human beings that are able to think and operate quickly on a million different fronts. Again, every human being should want to be at the top and peak of what they can possibly be. There are certain people that are fit, they're further along the line, but their brain might be a lot further behind. Because some people have good bodies and thick brains as well, or better bodies and dumbed down Mongo fucking brains. Some people have good brains or better brains, but are surrounded by a revolting Mongo fucked up fucking flid fucking body. Everything is about balance, but you need both. You need a fucking fully functional fucking brain to go with a functional body. Like I said, reaction times again. So like, being able to do these flips and fucking shit like that, because the body's thick, and it means that the brain is able to cope with things a lot quicker. Same way with doing whatever, It just means that your brain is able to think and fucking move and get that information from there to there much quicker. And again, from looking, so, something's coming in your direction. You need the sight, the brain, the reaction, the movement to fucking move out the way. Reaction speeds are all speeded up through a fully functional spinal cord. And the spine is not only just being straight, the spine should go backwards. A human being's spine goes backwards. The legs should be able to do the splits in both directions. The joints, mine is It is, and I didn't even know it was when she said it to me. That's not me doing it. It actually bends the wrong way. I put my knees on the fucking thing when I do that, and I lift that up. So my knees, I'm bending, so it goes past straight. Human bodies are able to move in many different ways. But if your ligaments are tight, you don't get that movement. So there's no point having big muscles if you can't move correctly. Because the muscle then becomes a hindrance rather than a benefit. You know, muscle comes after flexibility. Different levels of strength come after flexibility, but it's the flexibility that you need to work on first. And you gain strength just in different ways. I can lift. How do you lift your body though? That's more important than lifting a weight. How you are able to move your own body is vital to every single human being, and how quick that they can move that body is of benefit to everyone. And starting with yoga, again, I'm going to go through, I'll do the programs. I'm going to make a few videos over the next fucking few weeks. Starting over the next few weeks. And I'm going to start very basic for fatties. People who are unable to move. You know, you'd feel, every single human being, not only when you're healthy and you're at the correct weight, even just being at the correct weight, or a natural weight that you're comfortable with yourself with, naturally will make you happier in general, in person and in life. The happier you are about life in general, the less you need outside things to bring forms of joy to an unhappy person. Meaning many different things: belongings, drugs, unhealthy sex, you know, in ways, in pursuits of happiness. When if you're a lot happier in general, you have less need for anything on the outside to come in. And again, like I said, everything is about healthiness. Happiness is part of healthiness. You know, I'm going to finish it there, I think. But yeah, yoga is about stretching your body and learning balance. By bringing balance to the outside, helps bring balance to the in. And that includes balance to the brain. So that you're not a machine that's warped and one-sided. I'm going to make another video on the brain very soon. I've got to get these videos up because I'm getting a lot of them now. And they're long ones, and I've got to try and fucking get them up somehow. And we'll see how it works. But anyway, I'm going to cut that video there. We're at fucking 2 hours long. It was meant to be a fucking hour fucking video so that I could have fucking uploaded it and used up that fucking credit. Right, fuck it. What can I do? Anyway, that's 2 hours. Fuck this video. I'm gonna make another one. I was just giving people some of the fucking shit behind yoga, and that's that. Now I've got to watch this whole fucking thing back, which is fucking 2 hours, then spend fucking 5 or 6 fucking hours trying to get the fucking cunt up. my fucking shit life, huh?